Hello guys, it's Kimirafer and welcome to another video, and today we're gonna talk about / review the Call of Duty Vanguard beta. This is mostly gonna be criticism with some good points in between. I'm not gonna hold back though, I really did not enjoy the beta and I thought Sledgehammer did a very poor job getting Vanguard ready for release. The game was only in development for 2 years, which makes some stuff kind of understandable, but it highlights a potential problem in the development cycle of Call of Duty. But that's a topic for a different video. Starting off, let's talk about my biggest issue with the beta, and that's the spawns. Larger lobbies, which I'll talk about in a second, really screw with the spawns. Especially 24v24, the spawn system just can't seem to find any good spawns for you, and sometimes it spawns you around an enemy or spawns an enemy around you, in front of you, behind you, and even if that doesn't happen, spawns seem to be very spread out around the map. This causes very hectic and unpredictable matches. Sounds good on paper, but getting shot in your back constantly does get old very soon. A new feature this year is spawning on teammates. This is something we've had in Battlefield for years, and Call of Duty has introduced it in Vanguard, albeit very watered down, and overall it's just a poorer version of it. You have no option to choose which teammate you spawn on, so have fun spawning on that one teammate going for long shots, standing just in the back of your spawn. It seems like the game also can't decide what pacing it wants. And pacing here in the literal sense, not in the new feature sense, which we'll talk about later. Squad spawning slows the pace down immensely, but the hectic and messy spawns I mentioned previously increase the chaos. So you just have these two systems clashing pace-wise. Either we should be able to decide what teammate we spawn on, or we shouldn't have teammate spawns. The last issue with spawns is how easy it is to spawn trap a team. Maps in the beta tended to have very long lines of sight leading away from both spawns. Issue was the biggest on Gavutu. The middle lane and the lane by the sea are dominated by very long lines of sight, and especially the outer lane next to the sea on the beach has very strong potential for head glitching in that little round middle tower part. The last lane on this map, the one with the boat, isn't necessarily long range, but it is easy to shut down as the boat provides such a good vantage point, only counter really being the building on the other side of the map. And this issue brings us nicely into the next point, which is map design. Vanguard seems to stray away from the traditional 3-lane map design. While I applaud trying new things, 3 lanes is the successful formula for map design in Call of Duty. The Vanguard beta maps are somewhat different. Gavutu and Eagle's Nest are more traditional 3-lane maps, but Red Star and Hotel Royale are very different. Gavutu has the spawn trapping issue I mentioned earlier, but other than some camping issues, the only real problem I see is the map being very open between giant pieces of cover. For example, the area surrounding the boat is rather open, but the boat itself gives a lot of cover and has a lot of potential to just hold down that lane. Eagle's Nest promotes camping in the outer lanes and has a very hectic mid lane. For me, this was the best map of the beta, but there's still a lot of issues gameplay wise, and just the flow of it does not feel right. Red Star is a mixed bag. I see it as a sniper's paradise, but ARs can really hold down some of the outer parts. It also seems to have an identity crisis on what type of map it wants to be. It has 2 outer lanes, of which one lane is split into 2 sort of mini lanes consisting of a warehouse and a small alleyway, but the middle can't really be classified as a lane. Everything is interconnected, so it creates a lot of flanking opportunities, which is good, but the middle is just way too big. And last map of the beta, Hotel Royale, to me was the worst map of the beta. Most spawn issues I mentioned were present on this map, and you could see them happening all in one match, as well as it is not really a 3-lane map. Looking at the map from overhead, you would think it's a 3-lane with 2 outer lanes leading around the building and then the inside of the building, but everything is interconnected so much that even the middle lane, the building, is split into so many rooms that all connect to each other that the map just feels like a cluster of connected rooms instead of a lane. To me, it really destroys the flow of the map. The middle just does not have any flow, and the outside is alright, but they offer way too much cover to just camp behind. As for game design, we'll start off with the gunsmith. I do have to say that this is my first multiplayer game with a gunsmith, so I may get used to it later and grow to like it. but I have some issues with it. Primary issue is that it takes away a lot of the casual feeling Call of Duty was built on. Just overcomplicates making classes. I highly doubt that casual players just want to come home after a day of work or school to play 1 hour in the evening and have to sit for 10 minutes deciding what attachments they want to use. There's no reason to have 10 different options for sights and 10 different options for magazines. There was no issue with create a class previously. To me, the pick 10 system was very good, and 10 attachments on a gun is just way too much. For a player starting out later in the game's life cycle, it must be a hell to have to level up their guns from scratch against players with full attachments. Even though each weapon level is fairly short, still adds up if you count that there are over 50 weapon levels to unlock everything on normal guns. I have to say that I like the customization aspect of it, and I am convinced it's a good system for competitive, but to me it's just a step too far for casual matches. 10 attachments and 3 perks is just a bit too much of the good stuff. You don't get a penalty for having 10 attachments, whereas previously 6 attachments would make your gun very good, but you had to sacrifice a lot to get there. My second and last critique of the game design is the choice of colors. There isn't enough contrast on some maps. I had issues seeing enemies, and at times I was just looking at the name tag, because that's the only thing I saw, and just shooting below it hoping I would hit someone. The issue is made worse by having lots of particles in the air like the snow on Red Star, especially if something like a grenade blows up and blows up snow everywhere. Sledgehammer have stated they are trying to improve this problem, so let's hope it's a good solution. Next up, the feel of the game. Let's start with recoil. The recoil feels very clunky. Visually, your gun bounces all over the place and the actual recoil feels rather random. Random recoil isn't new, it's how it always has been to a degree. I do think that recoil should be a mix of random and predictable. Think back to older Call of Duties, we had predictable vertical recoil with a degree of variability and a random horizontal recoil. For this reason, I feel like the preferred guns on release will be guns with a lower recoil but decent damage. Not necessarily guns with a low time to kill, but easy to use guns like the KN-44 from Black Ops 3. I also feel like a gun like the Scorpion from Black Ops 2 wouldn't work in Vanguard with the way it handles recoil. Combat pacings are a new feature of this game. I like choosing what style of match pacing you want to play, but I feel like the pacings don't completely suit the maps of the beta. Maybe this will be fixed in the actual game, as it is rumored to have 20 maps, so that the pacings may work as a map filter, where certain pacings don't allow you to play certain maps. Of course, 24v24 can work on large maps, but the same pacing would need smaller lobbies on medium to small maps, so you just end up having to find a new lobby or just split and merge existing lobbies. In the beta, I found the larger matches tended to devolve into chaos very quickly and end very quick at that, while smaller matches were either very slow or very heavy on camping, which led to very long, almost time limit matches. So in short, I would describe combat pacings as a good idea with a suboptimal implementation. The final big talking point for me is bugs. This whole beta has been filled with bugs, and honestly, you can expect that. It's a beta, it's not meant as a release version usually, but a lot of the bugs in this beta have been very inexcusable in my opinion. First off, we have the flickering textures, which may be nearly seizure-inducing. I'm not a specialist, but I honestly wouldn't want to take a risk with flickering like this. Next up, there is sound cutting out. A lot of players have complained about sounds just disappearing. You stop hearing footsteps and suddenly an enemy appears in front of you. Of course, you'd expect to hear this, and then you're just caught off guard by an enemy being there. On the topic of sound, this isn't really a bug, but more of a criticism on the announcer. He is very annoying. At times he just wouldn't shut up. He almost tries to emulate the Halo announcer, but in a shitty way. He will constantly tell you if you're on a double kill, triple kill, whatever, but then at other times he just wouldn't mention that the enemy is calling in streaks, so suddenly you get bombed and you wouldn't even have known that the enemies were calling in a bomb. Some maps also had their issues, mostly Gavutu from what I've seen. For example, it had some parts that were just see-through, you could see through the map. How this got past playtesting, I have absolutely no idea. And then the last major bug I could think of was reports of people being reset to level 1 in the beta and being unable to level up again. Now in the end, it's a beta, your level will get reset anyway, so it doesn't matter, but being reset to level 1 does make you lose out on create a class and unlocking other guns, so it really does restrict how much gameplay you can get in. To conclude the review, I have to say this is one of the worst betas I've played in my life. I felt frustrated after playing just a couple of matches, whereas for the other Call of Duty betas I could play for hours and enjoy the game and not get annoyed. All the problems I mentioned here were present within 1 hour of playtime. Needless to say, that isn't a good experience and Sledgehammer really needs to step up their game, pun intended, if they want to release a product that feels finished and playable. I want them to succeed. They redeemed themselves after Advanced Warfare by making World War II and showed they can be an amazing developer in that game. I believe they can improve the game immensely, and even though I don't like some aspects of it, personal preference is a huge factor in game design and you can't please everyone. So sometimes we, the consumers or the players, will just have to deal with game design we disagree with. So while I may sound negative in this video, I just wanted to give some constructive criticism. Bashing the game has no use, but trying to give insight into why some stuff just does not work in the game can be gold for developers and help them improve the game for release. And on that note, I'm ending this video. Thank you very much for watching, whether you agree or disagree with my talking points. I hope you enjoyed it. My name has been Kimirafer, and as always, I'm signing off. See ya.